Alright, so I wanted to walk through a mod I've been working on. It's not my mod. It's from Sim Racing Hub F1, but I've been tuning it a little bit as a candidate for the league I'm in, because we're looking for new cars to race next year. So I'm going to pick my favorite track, Marina Bay. I love this track. And then we'll select the car. And of course, got to take the Red Bull. So one of the things the mod came with was different tire compounds, and the asterisk denotes the tire compound set that is regulated for that track. So I think you could either just leave it at 2025 regulations, or if you flip through, you'll find the matching asterisk. So for Marina Bay, we got to run the C3, 4, and 5. Some things that I've added: ERS tuning. Our factor is a little funky in how it does its ERS, so you kind of got to play with the numbers. At some places, the ERS will work out just fine, the way that I have created the maps. At other places, you will deploy way more than you could ever harvest. So what we do is we kind of fudge the numbers and increase the efficiency of the motor, essentially. So where the double star is denoted, that means that that should be mandatory for that track. And so for Marina Bay, I've gone with the default map that I created, and I've added 100% efficiency on top of that. And then for other tracks, we may use 150, we may use 200% efficiency, and that's just to, again, to play with the numbers, so that you're not deploying way more than you could ever harvest. So it's not realistic, that's fine, we're playing a video game. But so as an example, we can look at a track like Monaco. And for Monaco, the default is fine. Using realistic values for the motor efficiency is completely fine. If we look at a track like Monza, you'll see that I have it set to 200%, and I found that 200% it works out well. It gives you the feeling that you want. Another interesting thing that I borrowed from a different mod from a league that I'm in is the altitude effects. So for most of the tracks, the altitude effects is at sea level, but for Mexico, Brazil, and Austria, there are some differences in the downforce efficiency, as well as the engine power and fuel consumption, and so those are scaled appropriately. Mexico, being Mexico, it's like 70% loss in almost all categories. It's a little bit different for the engine and fuel consumption. So you use less fuel at Mexico, but you also have less downforce. So what I've been able to recreate here is, like, you throw on max wings, maximum front, maximum rear wing, and if you're got the DRS open and you're deploying maximum energy, then you'll hit 350, almost 350 down the front straight, just like in real life. They're actually going even faster, but I have yet to figure out how to let the engine over rev, so that's the next piece of the puzzle. So for Marina Bay, we're at sea level, and we got our tire compound, and we got our ERS tuning. So let's start the session. We'll put the electric motor map, it goes from 0 to 7, 0 being it's recharge, so it doesn't deploy energy. 7 is quali, it deploys a maximum 120 kilowatts of motor power, and then there's high, medium, low. Eco is essentially meant to let you recharge your battery but still give you some electrical energy assistance during the race, and then of course off again. So I put recharge on both ends of the spectrum, so when you go out for your quali lap, you can have it to recharge, and as soon as you start your lap, you can flick it once to put it into quali map. So and then of course you can have recharge off for your recovery, so you can not recover energy. Then you can have 60 kilowatts of recovery, or 120, which is max. And this does affect how you use the brakes in the car, because it's putting a negative torque on the rear axle. So we'll leave it at 120 for now. Torque map is essentially engine braking. So I haven't confirmed it yet, but if it goes as R factor is, then the higher the number, the less engine braking is being applied. The lower the number, the more engine braking is being applied. And then we have our power unit modes. So formation lap, a race minus, race plus. These are within a few percent of each other, so that you'll use a little bit more fuel, and that'll give you a little bit more power. Or you'll use a little bit less fuel, it'll give you less power. Typically for Formula One, every 10 kilograms of fuel is about 3/10 of a second of lap time. So if you're skilled, you can run, light fuel, do some fuel saving, especially with lift and coast while you're behind somebody, and then you can save some lap time, maybe, I don't know. And of course we got the quality mode for maximum power. That's what it was. The motor was off. Some other things I've done with this mod is I've played around with the thermal properties for the tires, trying to get them up to temperature, and also trying to make it so that the track wicks enough temperature off that they don't overheat. When I first started driving this mod, I had noticed that the tires would never come up to temp. They would always be down in the 50C. So I've been working on that. I think I got it to a good spot, but we'll see. Other than that, I mean, I really like this thing. So now we're going to deploy max energy on this lap. It's when you get down into these low speeds that motor will bite you, because it'll lock up the rear axle. Like that, you can see it kind of wants to come around. I've tried to dull it out a bit, but I didn't want to take too much away because it adds some level of skill to the driving. I don't know if it's realistic or not. Really don't care. It's a video game. Like that right there, wet. And again right there. Move my brake bias up. That should help. So now that we've drained some battery, let's see how long it takes to recover on low. We'll go eco, because this is meant to be for recharging your battery. And of course you could, if you played it right, you could maximize the braking zones to give you as much recharge as possible, but it does make you slower. That's the game you play. So now we'll run it in medium and see how that feels. Again, I'm just looking for a balance of deploying energy, harvesting energy, because I don't want to be spending all my race trying to manage my battery, and neither do the guys that I race with. So if it's like, if the efficiency is too high and we have too much energy, then we could always kick it down a notch, and then you will fall into that battery management zone. I'll leave it up to them. Seems to be pretty good. I like it. It's not completely draining the battery, but it is using the battery. You're not ending every lap with the same amount that you had before. And of course, we also have overtake. That just deploys the maximum energy that you have available to you. And you can change your regen level, so there's less braking torque on the rear axle. You can attack the brakes harder without that back end trying to step out on you. lost it. Sweet. Yeah, so there it is.